Hello everyone, Darkfather here. This time was a very short farming video. If you enjoyed, consider following and like it for more. Please comment if you have questions or suggestions on how to improve. Also joining me on Twitch and on the other social platforms linked below will be great. I'm not the most knowledgeable player, so I will appreciate if you will add more tips and correct my statements where it makes sense. I assume you already know how to progress by doing operations and have a good build that allows you to reach 217. Therefore, we are going to cover a few topics today. Let's see. Efficient farming, gold affinity and crafting reagent farming, unique gear farming, hand gear farming, 3 to 5 damage per 100% rage head and chest farming, and 3 times color gear farming. So, let's go and start with the first one. Let's talk about efficient farming first. Any game like this has a drop rate and an item quantity and a magic find. So let's go and see them. You can see here, if we are going to 217, this is our base. Now, in theory, you want as much quantity as you can, so you can multiply your chances to drop. This means that you can go crazy and add as many skulls as you can to raise that quantity. Let's add 100. Or maybe let's remember, this was a 324, and now with 100 I'm getting to 424. However, I'm getting as well plus 200% health and damage. So that means you can go crazy and add as many skulls, but first of all, not everyone can, and also this doesn't mean you'll be efficient. If you will spend 3 more times to clean a map for the extra 30% quality, right, is that worth? Probably not. So my suggestion is actually to find a balance between the speed and the map level. I cannot tell you for your specific character, but the same principle applies. You want to make sure that you keep your item quantity as much as you can, but you do clean in a fast enough way. You shouldn't spend 20 minutes on a map or 1 hour on a map, because it doesn't make any sense. You'll not get much more. Rather than doing that, you can go back to 217 and do them there if you clean fast enough. Or even a better way. You can actually go to 187 and farm very, very fast, because 187, by the way, has the same capability of giving you good and maximum, let's say, affixes and prefixes as the 217. So feel free to farm 187 and clean as fast as you can. While you are leveling, you are not going to be able to reach here, but the same applies. If you are here, for example, but you feel like you struggle to clean up, go a few levels below. You will see 273, 267. It's not a big difference. Just farm where you can farm very, very fast. You'll get better gear and you'll be able to progress faster. Because the reality is that you want to do it faster. You don't necessarily want to stay 2 hours and at the end to see a lot of items. No, you want to stay 1 hour and to see across that hour as many items as you can, right? Because the reality is that you want to get more rewards per every hour you invest in the game. So let's go back to our discussion. The next topic for us was, how do we farm gold affinity crafting, and how do you farm unique gear? I'm putting them together because they are linked in a way. So the way to farm gold affinity and crafting and also uniques, it's to go actually here and start picking up those quests. And let's see. If you go to the trade piece, right, the trade assembly, you will have 3 potential quests to pick up. What you want to do, you want to take the ones which they have large or even medium quantity for primordial and for gold. Large are the best ones, of course, but minions are good enough. Productivity, maybe you don't want to take it, or maybe you do, and I will tell you why later. Now, while you do that, you go to the dark market and you also pick up a few, right? We see that we have 3 more to pick up. Depends on what you want to achieve. You may want to take Ether reagent, you may want to take increased reagent rarity because you may want to upgrade your reagents to be able to craft. Or if you want to farm uniques, the best way to farm uniques are actually from the memory echoes. So in this case, I have 3 spaces. I will start with the last one. In my case, I know that I can take all of them, but if you have only 1 space here, take at least the last one, right? In my case, I will take all 3. So what I'm going to do, now I have 2 quests which are going to theoretically give me affinity and gold, and 3 quests which are going to give me the echoes, which are going to give me later on a lot of uniques. Now you have 5 quests. Just to remember, even if you need only gold, take the primordial affinity ones. Why? Because later on you can do quests which are giving you gold from affinity, or the other way around, affinity from gold. So it's the same currency if you want. It's just a step behind, right? So what do? So you took those 5s. And now what you want to do is you want to cash in those. You don't want to farm anything here. We are talking here farming gold and farming uniques. We are not talking about farming any of the standard gear. So what I want to do is to pick up the fastest quest here and finish it as fast as I can. So I have a few options. First of all, the best one probably is the headhunt. This one you go in, you kill a boss and you're done. So we will take this one. But if you don't have this one, you may want to take sabotage. And people will say, well, sabotage, it actually can be very difficult. It's true, it can be very difficult, but there is a tip. You can go here and you can pick it up at a lower level. And you will be able to do this one quite fast. Because in the end, again, you don't get in those to farm them. You go in so you can complete the 5 projects faster, right? So what I'm going to do now, just as a demo, I'm going to take the headhunt. I know that with my character, I can do easy the 217, but if you can't, again, you go back, right? And I'm going to get in. And I'm not going to take the 5th modifier. You know why? Because again, I'm not farming anything here. I just want to farm those projects. So I'm going to go in. Now I know it's a headhunt. I'm going to buff even before myself, because why not? I'm going to get in. And I'm going to kill the boss instantly. And I'm going to get in. Or out if you want. I'm going to pick up whatever I want from here. Maybe you'll get some good stuff here, by the way. Have I 30% spell damage, shadow damage, critical damage? Not the worst one. And then, amazingly, in less than a few seconds, we finished everything. Do I get a big reward from here? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. 12%. 12k is not a lot. So I was unlucky with those, but I took the 3 echoes. So now what I do? I do again. This one, productivity, random, nothing amazing. I will take this one and maybe I will go to the market. Again, I'm going to take all the echoes because we want to farm uniques, and maybe I will take a reagent. And what do? You get again here, right? And you pick up whatever is faster here. So probably sabotage, lower level as I said, or if you don't have, you can take onslaught on a lower level. It's fast enough as well, right? So doing that, what is going to happen if you do that 5-10 times? And let me clean my inventory up before, because it's a little bit awful. So after you do this a few times, by the way, those projects here, they can give you up to 100k gold and 100k primordial affinity. So they are very, very good. I was unlucky before, as you've seen, and I got only 12k, but over time you will take a lot of money out of those. So don't think that if I didn't take the first one, it's a bad tip. It's a good one. Just go through them. So you do this and fast quest, as you've seen, right? A 2 minutes quest. You do that a few times. And my game decided to crash during this. That's amazing. I will get again in. Unlucky to do that during a quest. But, so what you want to do, you do that, so you have 3 of them, right? You get 3 echoes every time. So you get actually those echoes, you do 10 times the mission if you want, right? You get 30 echoes. Right, you get 30 echoes, and those 10 missions, as you've seen, if you take the fastest one, it's going to take you 2-3 minutes, whatever, to do it. And then what you can do to farm uniques, because the second part of the discussion here was how do you farm uniques. We just learned how to farm gold and primordial affinity. But if you want to farm uniques, what you want to do now, it's actually do those echoes. And hopefully this is not going to make me restart the video. So what you want to do now, assuming you did that, you go to consumables, go to instances, and you start doing yours, right? You've seen that we have a few here, but the biggest one is the pure memory echo. So you can choose and do them one by one. This one is to 17. Now, one thought before, because people are asking, are they all dropping the same thing? Yes, from what we've seen and the community seen, they are dropping the same things, but they will be different levels. And the question is, does it worth to do lower levels? And the answer is yes. Some of the uniques, they are much better if they are at a higher level. But some uniques, like the trial bait, for example, they are almost as good. They will have less resistances from what we've seen, but they are still good. So I think it's still worth to farm those as well. So you go to farm uniques, you go here. Maybe what you want to do, so you don't waste your time too much, you want to decide to see only uniques and legendaries, as I do, or you may want to farm everything. It's your problem. So we get in, right? We see this nice lady here. And we start killing her, right? And that's it. And I will have here one unique, a few materials, a die, and I go out. Right? Maybe your build is not efficient as this one to kill bosses, but that's fine, right? You will kill it. And now you see here, you have, and you start and you continue and do all of your stuff. And when you don't have space in the inventory, and I'm not going to farm so much for this video, but when you don't have space in the video, you go back and you see 13% occult damage, I don't care. This one I don't care. This one I don't care about it. I'm going to try to see if this is a new die. Is not. I'm going back. Usually if you want, you can check, you can put yourself an empty stash as a stash when you drop everything, right? And you start farming again so you don't waste time. So you may want here to, and I don't have that stash anymore because I don't have space, but you want to keep one stash empty. So after you sell everything which is not worthy, if you have items you think you need to see them later, what you do, you drop everything here and you look after, and you look later on, right? So, and you continue, right? And you continue doing that. Now, what have we discussed before? We discussed that we will cover gold affinity crafting and unique gear. So I think we did that. Unique gear, again, it's coming from echoes. You farm them very fast, as you've seen, and you mix that with gold affinity and crafting before. So it's very, very easy. Now let's talk a little bit about hand gear. So when you go here, sometimes, and unfortunately we're not so lucky for this one, you will find something which is called expeditions with hunt. Expeditions with Hunt will drop gear, which is going to have this icon here, the red one, like a Batman, if you want. This gear has some interesting stats. He's going to have one stat which is going to be pretty good, like the one here, 20% more damage, and it's going to have a drawback. The drawback can be very bad, or in some cases, you will ignore it. So that's why this gear can be very, very good, because you can have an amazing stat with a negative, less important stat, like the one here. Element chance score in general for most of the build is not important. So that's quite a good, let's say, start to pick up. So again, you want to go here, pick up expeditions. Make sure that when you take expeditions, you take the plus trophy modifier as you progress. And also one big tip here, after you kill the hunt, you can actually exit the map. And I will show you as an example on this one. You can actually kill the hunt, right? So let's assume this is a hunt, expedition with hunt. Let's assume we did the map, we killed the hunt. And what I can do, rather than exiting through the portal, I can press this button and I say, I'm going to go back to Stormform. So what's going to happen is that even if I kill the hunt, I will still have the expedition here, so I can do it again. So in this way, you can endless farm only expeditions. The same apply for the rest. Now, one other topics, you'll see people having 3 to 5% damage per 100 rage, head and chest pieces. For that one, you can farm what is called Sarisel. So again, you'll find one mission here called Sarisel, and you should do the same thing as with Hunt, right? You can farm that one, exit before exiting the portal, and you can do it again. By the way, that one seems to have better rewards if you don't die, so you may want to take it a little bit easier. What you can get from Sarisel is exactly what we said before. Look at this headpiece, 4% damage and 100% rage points, which are amazing headpieces for some builds which are using full rage. For example, the one I have is pretty decent. Others are even better. The summon ones, and feel free to check my channel for summon ones, are even better, right, to get those types of gear. So we discussed, of course, Sarisel, right? This is the Sarisel type of mode you can take. And now the last one, it's the three-colored one, as I call it. I don't know how the community does. I always call it three-colored one. Three-colored one, it's interesting because it can give you everything. You see, I have a 21% damage. I get a Sarisel 22%, and I get also I get a Sarisel +1 projectile, and I have a generic one for from Aruman of 22% to all attributes. How do you farm for this one? This one doesn't really have a place from what I've seen to farm, but I think from what we've seen, and one of my viewers from Twitch told me as well, the good drop rates are in the Curse Breaker. So you do the Curse Breaker, and at the end you go and kill those golden pesky small mobs you have on the map. And what I've seen as well, that those are as well dropping sometimes from the Memory Echo. So again, you may have a win-win situation by farming memory echoes for uniques and also three-color gear. And also what I seen myself, that is very, very dependent on the item quantity. I'm not 100% sure about that, but this is my feeling. So maybe if you want to farm this one, try to farm something easy for you to farm and add item quantity in that way, right? I'd add the skulls for this one. I'm not 100% sure, but this is my opinion based on what I've seen. So let's do a small summary, and let me figure out how to show it on your screen here in an easy way so you can remember as a cheat sheet, right? Summary: efficient farming, balanced difficulty versus your clear speed. Level 187 seems to be enough for everything you want to take. Gold affinity and crafting reagents. Take large or medium quantity trade projects or golden affinity. Complete the quickest mission you can do. Headhunt or low level sabotage. Onslaught as well is good. Lower the level of everything you have there if you need. Make sure, by the way, you don't lower too much because you'll not get the productivity to finalize the quest, right? Make sure about that. Unique gear, it's linked to the one we said before. You do memory echoes, and the way you get those 3 echoes is to pick the projects while you farm for gold, right, and affinity. So it's a very good synergy. Hunt gear. Do expedition with hunts, takes the plus trophy modifiers. Exit if you want to do it multiple times without using the portal. Sarisel mods, you do Sarisel, of course. You get better rewards if you don't die. And of course, you can exit in the same way as you did for the hunt gear without using the portal. And for the 3-colored, good drop rate seems to be in Curse Breaker and decent one in Memory Echoes. Seems very dependent on item quantity, so test yourself and tell me what you're seeing by doing multiple skulls here. Okay, so that was everything for me and for now. Thanks everyone for watching. Again, if you like what you see, please do like and follow. Follow me on the other social media platforms. I will try to link everything there. And again, better players, knowledgeable players, please feel free to add your comments. We will try to adapt and adjust for the next guide. Thanks everyone, and have a great time.